Hey guys, how's it going? It's Mads Finds. I'm a part-time reseller on Poshmark, eBay, and Depop. And today I'm going to be going over my favorite sales from the month of June. So one of the first sales I had was a packed maxi dress, and I sold it for $25. Then we have actually my first sale from the consignment program. So I'm in the consignment beta program where someone sends you a bag of their clothes and then you list it all and you split the profits 50-50. So I sold this Adidas New Tag backpack for $30. So after the split, I made $12, which I think after 2 days of listing everything, that sold. So $12 is something I paid $0 for is not bad at all. Then we have a Madewell dress that I've had forever, and it sold for $20, so I will gladly take that. Then another item that I've had for a while that I thought would sell faster, but it is an extra small, and that's probably why it didn't sell as fast, but it was these Levi's overalls that sold for $25. Then we got this. I like picking up this style of pretty much any vintage Tommy Hilfiger I like to pick up, or Y2K. It does well on Depop, but this was a men's shirt that sold on Posh for $17, but it sold pretty fast and I only paid $2 for it, so I think that was worth it. Then we have a really good sale. It's these Cole Haan Chelsea boots, and they sold for $80, which was my asking price. So I'm very happy with that. So I usually don't pick up Cole Haan, but I think the more newer styles definitely would be a good find. We also have another consignment sale from that first bag I got, which was these Nike pink sneakers that sold for $35. So after the cut, I made $14. These were a woman's size 5, so really small, so I'm glad they sold pretty fast. I also sold this Tuckernuck teal eyelet skirt for $38. I got it off of ThredUp, so it sold pretty fast as well, so I'm very happy with that. I also sold this Lululemon blue tank top for $30, which I think is amazing for a Lululemon tank top, especially because this was a older style. And I've had it for a while, and I got it from the bin, so I probably paid like 50 cents for it. I also sold these DL 1961 jeans for $25. These I bought for myself and they were just too small from Nordstrom Rack, so I did lose money, but $25 is pretty good. Also sold this Duluth shirt. I like picking up Duluth. It's pretty consistent. It does well on eBay as well. This next sale sold within the same day, and it was this New Tag Urban Outfitters shirt for $17, and it only retailed for $40, so that's close to half off. So I think the same day, that's really good. Then we have this, I believe it's called Wesk. It's a fleece zip up. I still think winter things still sell in the summertime, so it's definitely still worth it to pick it up, but it sold for $25. And going along with the things selling in the summertime, this puffer coat for $30 from Helium, and I got this for $1 on Dollar Day, so I think $30 for a coat in June is really good. Then I have a sale from my second consignment bag from a different consignee, and this is the only thing I've sold from them so far. Not the best, but it was these BOC faux leather sandals that sold for $20, so I made $8 on it, but I'm glad to get them out as soon as possible since shoes just do take up more space. Got a third sale from the first consignment bag is this Wilson athletic shirt, and this sold for $25, which I think is really good for a Wilson shirt, which was my asking price as well. So after the cut, I made $10. Next up is a really good sale. So I know some people don't like picking up swimsuits, but I do, like especially if they're new with tags. So this one was the brand Sea Folly, which is an Australian brand, and it was they had the top and the bottom, which I think selling separates is a lot harder than selling a set. So if it's a set, I definitely take a closer look. But they were both new with tags, and it sold for $50. Sold these Madewell white denim shorts for $20. I like picking up Madewell still. I think it sells, not for a crazy amount, but it's pretty consistent. I also sold this COS t-shirt dress for $28. I love picking up this brand, so if you see it, definitely grab it. And so that's all the bigger sales from Poshmark. Then we had not as much on Depop. Usually I sell quite a bit, but I think this month it just wasn't as popular on Depop. I did have these Pull and Bear Y2K cargo pants that sold for $20, and the Depop fee is so low, so I made $18 off of it, and I only paid $4. So I definitely still like picking up cargo pants. Then we got a vintage sale. This is a vintage 1980s Bugle Boy jeans. One thing about vintage is the vintage sizing, so I'm always a little bit nervous to pick up jeans, but this went well and it sold for $24, so I made $22. Then the other day I sold these Tags Pedal and Pup pants. They were like a super funky pattern and they sold for $31. Then I just had a couple on eBay. I did sell this Tommy Bahama dress, like tropical dress, for $25, and then also another Tommy Bahama shirt for $20, and a kids REI windbreaker jacket for $14. I do like picking up kids because you don't pay very much for it at the thrifts, so if you pick up a good brand, it will be worth it. So those are some of the sales that I've had for the month of June. Definitely not a crazy month, but that's just the summer slowdown, and as long as you're making money, and it's worth it. And I'll put up here what I've made in total for the month across all 3 platforms. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.